Hello class, welcome to week 3. This week you're going to be learning about some of my favorite material, which is sort of the chemical properties of water and what makes it particularly unique to fitting into the whole Earth system. It's very important. And you'll also be learning about atmospheric circulation and wind patterns, things like that. So hope you find it fun. First off, I noticed that some folks were talking about the study guides and how they weren't in order, or they were watching videos multiple times to get each one of those sections of the guide filled out. I just wanted to remind you that you don't have to fill every single thing out, and that some of those may be out of order, and that's unfortunate. That's something that we may not be able to work on too much because those videos may be removed from the class soon. So going through all that material and changing it at this point might not be the best idea for us as teachers. And I did take a look at some of the material, the study guides coming up, and in terms of the order of those forms. And it does seem like they are relatively in order, so maybe it was just the first couple weeks of material that weren't put together quite as well. So hopefully that works out just fine for you guys. What I would recommend is if you go through the videos or through the chapters and you're filling out those study guides, and you get to the end and you have some things that you missed, take a look at the quiz study guide first. If there's something on that study guide for the quiz that you didn't manage to get in your study guides, then I would say maybe go back and see if you can find the information on that. Otherwise, don't waste time like watching the video multiple times and agonizing over some of those questions. Speaking of quizzes, I just want to remind you guys that you do have 2 chances for each quiz. So if you take the quiz the first time and you don't do so hot, you can take it a second time. Don't forget about that. And I would recommend doing that immediately after the first time that you take the quiz, just because it'll be kind of fresh in your mind. Oh, and in case I haven't mentioned this before, each time you take the quizzes, it will draw different questions. So the questions aren't always in the same order. So if you do have any questions about those questions on the quiz and you want to, cite them to me, it's best for me to know the question rather than what number that question was on the quizzes. All right, so I've jumped back to the welcome page right here for our Moodle site, just to show you guys that there is a new forum here. It says Makeup Forum, Oceanography in the News. This one, if you were to, say, miss a post in some other forum, you could come here and make 2 posts with some current oceanography news in place of some of those missed forum posts. Also for week 3 here, there is a new forum, optional, cold blob and marine heat and cold waves. So if you say missed a post somewhere else in a forum, come into here and make a post or 2 on this material, and that will also count for a forum post. There is this Coast Ecosystem Restoration Projects creates job ? That is also a forum that is an assignment for this week. So don't forget to do that one there. Quiz 2, of course. And let's see. Under supplemental, this week we have a really cool website called windy.com. And this can show you not only just the weather in your local area, but it shows you the live wind patterns in the area. And actually you can see here's a nice little tropical storm there, a hurricane. Pretty cool. And you can also change it such that you can take a look at rain or temperature, clouds, all kinds of stuff. It's really cool. All right, so for those of you who do not have labs, this is the end of the video. You can stop at this point. Good luck with everything. Have a great week. For those of you who are taking the labs, you'll notice that there are your regular labs and materials, and an additional what's posted here is a coast trip. And if you take a look at these, it's a sort of little field trip that you could take on your own, and you could go into these labs, print off some of this material, and take a trip. And it would count for both week 3 and 4 at-home labs instead of this material here. So if any of you are interested in doing that, I would highly recommend posting in this forum down here underneath the coast trip. It is a great place for you to say, do a rideshare sort of scenario with some of your fellow students, which is also a pretty cool way to, hang out with your actual classmates. As for the setup for week 3 lab, you'll notice that this is set up a bit differently than they have been set up before. The lab instructions, lab sheet, and turn-in location are all in the same area and under this link here. So if we just go ahead and click on this lab week 3 link, you'll come to instructions, lab sheet, and a place for you to actually submit some of your material. And here's a little screencast-o-matic video that Jamie put together for you guys. And that is, oh, yes, for those of you taking the labs, obviously, Lab 2, the date for turning it in was a year off. So sorry about that. Feel free to turn it in manually. Any lab you can print off, fill out. You can place that actual physical copy into, there's a drop box in the science office in building 16. Even when that office is closed, the box is outside, and it'll just have like a little timestamp thing for you. Just insert it in there, and they'll get that to me. But for Lab 2, the date has been extended to Wednesday, and that's just the due date. You can turn it in after Wednesday as well, and particularly for this one, because of that mistake, I'll let some lateness slide on that one, so no worries. And that is all I have for now. Anything else, I'll just post in the announcement forums or send you some messages. All right, thanks guys, and good luck.